Declaration of Cristobal R., name redacted, an exhibit in support of the Flores Agreement. My date of birth is January 7th, 1988. My son's name is name redacted. He is 7 years old and he was born on June 10th, 2011. My son and I are from Guatemala. We left Guatemala because I was facing discrimination from the Spanish speakers. I was assaulted at gunpoint when driving a motorcycle taxi. My 7-year-old son was there. They asked me questions about my job and demanded half of my salary. I believe they were gang members. After that, they sent me threatening notes at my home. They physically attacked me, but we were able to escape. They called me offensive names used to refer to people like me who do not speak Spanish as our first language. We fled Guatemala in fear and were detained together at the border about 6 days ago near El Paso, Texas. I believe that it was on or about June 23, 2018. We were taken to a facility nearby. We were handed a 2-page document in Spanish and were told that we needed to sign them by an official who spoke only English. I signed because they made us sign one by one. They gave us about 5 minutes to read it, but I could not fully understand it because I have a limited education. We do not have a copy of this document. They only asked us for some information and locked us up. We were not provided a list of free legal services. The officers at the facility did not speak any Spanish, and they spoke to us only in English. I did not understand anything that they were saying except the word Guatemala. My son and I stayed together all the time, in the same cell with 10 other people. We had a sink and toilet in the same room. We all had to share the same bathroom and use it in front of everyone. We had no privacy. The room was about 2 by 3 meters. We did not have access to a shower. There was no water for us to drink. We were thirsty and we would ask for water, and they would tell us to drink from the sink above the toilet. We did not get any clean water that entire time. My son only got 1 juice. They did not give us food. We could not shower. We were not given clean clothes. The cell was very cold. The air conditioner was very strong, so it was freezing in there. We slept with aluminum blankets. We slept on the hard floor and did not have mattresses. There were some rooms with mattresses and some with mats. The officers would not turn off the lights. We did not have a sense of what time of day it was, whether it was nighttime or daytime. I felt very confused. After about 5 hours, from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m., my son and I were taken to another facility by bus. This happened on June 24, 2018. The trip was about 20 minutes. We were held for 2 days and 2 nights. My son and I were always together during this time. I received 2 sheets of paper that had my legal rights and my son's legal rights. They were written in Spanish, and they gave us time to read it and sign it. However, they did not give us a copy of either of these papers. We were not provided a list of free legal services. They gave us 2 minutes to call my family to inform them that I had been detained. The officials spoke English, so I could not understand them. The room that we were in had a toilet and a sink in it, similar to the first facility that we were at. There was very little privacy. They did not give us water, so I had to drink water from the sink. They gave us 2 disposable cups that we had to use for the time that we were there. I received 2 disposable cups and my son received 2. The water tasted like it had a lot of bleach in it. It also smelled like bleach. I remember my son being very thirsty because he could not drink the water. He complained that it tasted too much like bleach to drink. I saw an officer with pure water, and my son and I begged him several times for water, but he refused and kept telling us to use the sink. My son is 7 years old. They gave us 3 meals, which consisted of whatever food was left over in the facility. My son and the other children were not able to eat this food, and so they were always hungry. Some of the officials there would not feed the children if they were sleeping, so some children had to skip meals. This happened to my son and me. I tried to ask for his meal so that I could give it to him later, but the officer refused. My son did not get to eat that meal. They did not let us shower for days. Before we were transferred to Berks, we were given 5 minutes to shower. We were not given clean clothes. Prior to this, they took the toothpaste that I had from my journey and threw it in the trash. We could not brush our teeth. This facility was also very cold, similar to the first place that we stayed. They had 2 mats in the cell. The result was that we had to sleep on the floor. We had aluminum blankets like the last place. My son slept on the floor with me. There were 7 adults and 7 children in the same cell. The size of the cell was about the same as the first one we were in, about 2 by 3 meters. They always had the lights on like the last place, so it was difficult to sleep and we could not tell what time of day it was. One official turned off the lights for 1 hour because the children were still awake and playing. My son and I were taken out of that facility on approximately June 20th, 2018, and were transported together to the Burkes facility. We received a written note about our rights in Spanish, but it was not explained to my son, who is under 14. We did not receive any written notice about our right to a hearing before an immigration judge. We did not receive any information about a hearing for my son, nor any information about any bond opportunities. We were also not told about any possibilities to be released on certain conditions. They told us to sign a paper in Spanish and told us why we were being housed, but I do not have a copy of it. While at the Burkes facility, I have spoken with someone from an organization that I do not remember. We spoke for about 10 minutes about my fear to return to my country. The officials at the facility say that I need to wait until someone from immigration comes and I can talk to them more about my situation. I do not know when I will have my interview. My son and I have been at the Burkes facility for about 3 days. We are waiting to have our interview. I, Cristobal R., swear under penalty of perjury that the above declaration is true and complete to the best of my abilities. This declaration was provided in Spanish, a language in which I am fluent, and was read back to me in Spanish. June 29th, 2018.